Good morning, friends. Welcome to Adda 24/7. We are in the Sankalpa series for BFM. In this series, we are covering important theory, objective questions, some numericals, some case studies. So, all of the parts we are covering. So, today, what are we covering? Today, we are covering in BFM. Here, this is basically right now the time is for BFM. Okay. So, in BFM, today, we'll be covering Incoterms. What is an Incoterm? I'll tell you. Sure, important part is Incoterms is around it is around 5 to 6 marks in your exam for BFM. 5 to 6 marks, remember. That much is the importance. So what is the schedule? Look at the schedule. One is we'll be studying firstly Incoterms, what are the various Incoterms, and second we will be having the objective questions on the Incoterms. Okay. So firstly, let me discuss this. Now, many of you might be actually knowing the Incoterms, what the meaning of Incoterms, but then also I'll give you. Incoterms means it's a responsibility. Responsibility. Okay. A responsibility between whom? Here, whenever I do any export from here, so in that case, where will the seller give the goods and where will the buyer take the control of those goods? Where will the seller leave the control of the goods and where will the buyer take the control of the goods? This term is known as Incoterms. Means where, suppose, let's say, I'll tell you regarding this Incoterms. Whenever we go to them, you'll understand it better. Suppose, let's say, let's take the first Incoterm, X works. Okay, what is X works? X works means what? If this is my factory, okay, let me expand this. Okay, so it becomes easier for you to understand. Let me expand this. So, this X works. Suppose if seller says, I will put the goods, manufacture these goods and put it in front of my factory. I won't give you anywhere else. Just in front of my factory, I'll place them. You pay me and take these goods from here. How do you take it? What do you do? That's not my concern. So this is known as X works. This is the best Incoterm for any seller. Always. Why? Because here the responsibility of the seller is up to what? Up to the gate of his factory. That's it. From here, everything is on the buyer. Tomorrow, if while taking the goods, there is an accident, or if there is some robbery, then seller is not responsible. Seller says, okay, I have given the goods as per my terms and conditions. Now it's your responsibility. So this is known as X works, the best Incoterm for the seller. Then comes a bit higher. Now the buyer is in, let's say, USA. Seller is in, let's say, India. Okay. In that case, what will the buyer do? What will the buyer do over here? Now, if you look at it, the buyer over here, say this, I'll take this over here, huh? Or shall I make it smaller so that you understand? Yeah, now it's easy, simple to understand. Okay. Now let's say the buyer is in USA. Then what will the buyer say? Sir, see, coming to a factory and taking it is the difficult part. What I'll do is, you do one thing. You put these goods on the ship. Load these goods on the ship. And from here, my responsibility will start. So the seller will say, okay. In that case, what will happen? Seller will manufacture these goods, take these goods in the truck from his place or her place, not only his or her place, okay, up to the port, okay, and here the seller will take them up to the port and load these goods into the ship. This is called as loading on on board. This is known as board, okay. So the goods will be loaded on the board. Here the responsibility of the seller ends. Once the goods are loaded on the board over here, say this, once they are loaded over here on the ship, then the responsibility of the seller ends. Okay. Then what happens? If tomorrow something happens to the ship, so this ship gets sunk over here, or there is a robbery, there is some storm, and the ship gets means material gets distorted. In that case, the seller is not responsible. Seller's responsibility was only loading on the board of the ship. Now, what is on the board? Again, remember this word you will find it many times. On board, on board, on board. What do you mean by on board? What is the word on board over here? Here. Now, this is a bit. We are going into the ship, right? It's not needed, but then also let me explain you. This top part of the ship is known as deck, D-E-C-K. You saw that Titanic movie? Everyone has seen that Titanic movie? That she is standing here and then that song, right? All that. This is known as deck, this top part. And board means this, lower part, board. Always material or goods are always loaded in the ship below. Goods are always loaded on the board. They are never loaded on the deck. Okay, they are never loaded on the deck. So this is on board means the goods are loaded on this below part. Okay, otherwise what will happen if they are loaded above and people are below? What will happen? They fall down on the people. Logic, isn't it? So that's why they are always loaded on the board below. Okay, so now what happens? Suppose if tomorrow this buyer says that this FOB you have understood? See here, on board. So this is known as FOB, free on board. So the responsibility of the seller is to load it on the board. Now there is one more incoterm attached to this. Means if the seller says, no, I won't load it on the ship. I will load it, I'll just put it besides the ship. Means wherever you have that place of keeping the goods on that port, there you will see, there I'll put it and there I'll put these goods. So that is known as FAS. Now what do you mean by this besides the ship? All of you have seen the old Hindi movies. Always in last, there is always a fight between the hero and the villain. Now 1980s, 90s, those movies, up to 2000 also. Nowadays everything is gone. Nowadays nobody has that last fight in the movie. There was a concept of last fight in the movie. Everyone remembers? Type yes in the comment section. Have you seen that old Amitabh or anyone's movies? Last fight. That last fight was mainly, many a times, it was on that deck only, on that ship only, port. All those containers, hero jumps. Now also you see it in the South Indian movies, right? Many of the South movies. You'll see the same. The hero jumping from that container, all that containers, that is basically FAS. So next time whenever you see this, you just call it FAS, okay? Free alongside ship. This is known as free alongside ship, okay? So this is FAS, free alongside ship, got it? Now this is incoterm FOB, this is FAS. Now next one is CFR and CIF. Look at this, CFR and CIF. CFR means what? Cost and freight. What does it mean? Here it means that the seller will put the goods on the ship, number one, means on the board. Then he will buy the logistic cost of this ship. Logistic cost means the ticket, you can call it in simple language. The ticket of that ship. That will be borne by the seller. So this is known as CFR. Now when this guy buys the ticket, then what happens? See here, his or her responsibility is only up to buying the ticket. If tomorrow something happens to the ship, again, seller says, I am not responsible. My responsibility was putting the goods on the board and buying that ticket. Okay, so that is called as CFR. Transport paid, transport, okay. The next one, after that comes CIF, cost, insurance and transport. So what does it mean? Here the seller will buy the ticket also, and also the next thing which he or she will buy is insurance. If tomorrow this ship gets sunk, then the insurance company needs to pay. So who will pay the premium of this? So the premium is paid by the seller over here. So in CIF, the premium and the transport cost is borne by the seller. Important, remember. Okay. Why am I focusing more on this FOB, CFR, CIF, FS? Because 95% of the trade in this world, okay, big trade and not smaller trades, oil or all rice exports, anything, 95% of that is done via ship. It is not done via any truck. It is not done via any this aeroplane. Nothing. That's why we must always focus on ship. Okay. Now, important part over here, FOB. This FOB is important because your pre-shipment finance is always given on FOB in India. Pre-shipment finance means packing credit. That is always given on FOB. That's why this FOB is so much important. Okay. Now, suppose if I ask you to, suppose if I am having CIF Incoterm. Now, answer me. Everyone, answer me. Suppose if I am having a CIF Incoterm and I have to come to this FOB Incoterm. From CIF, I have to come to FOB. How will I come? How will I come to this point from CIF to FOB? How will I come? What will be my method of arriving at this FOB? Here, C means what? Cost. This cost means actually FOB. Understand this. C means this FOB. FOB is what? Free on board. That is the manufacturing cost. So this C means FOB. So if I have to come from CIF to FOB, I have to remove this I and F. Simple. So I'll have to remove this insurance and I'll have to remove this transport. So I'll just subtract this insurance and transport fees, whatever is paid, and I'll come to FOB. Because in exams, many times they give you CIF and then they ask you to find out the FOB. They give all the figures. Insurance also they give, then freight also. You have to just subtract it and you come to FOB. Okay. But also remember, while giving the pre-shipment finance, we have to subtract the profit also. Never forget the profit, because pre-shipment finance is given for the cost, not for the profit. And post-shipment finance is given on whichever Incoterm is given. No subtraction, nothing. Whatever is given, pay 100% in post-shipment finance. Remember, post-shipment finance, pay 100%. Pre-shipment finance, we finance as per the Incoterms, and that also FOB Incoterm, and that also generally 75%. Got it, everyone? So what are the four main Incoterms related to ship? FAS, FOB, CFR and CIF. Okay. Now next one. This is related to ship. Now if I have to transfer the goods, I said 95% is done through ship, but that 10% is done through this road and air also. So if I have to transfer the goods through road, then what? So if I have to transfer the goods through road, then the Incoterms used are different. What are these Incoterms? Then we have firstly FCA, free carrier. Now free carrier is same as FOB. Now look at this. Have I written it over here? No. See this. Free carrier is same as FOB. FCA on road is same as FOB on ship. Remember this. Simple. Here also the seller will just load the goods on this truck and that's it. Okay. Similarly, CPT, carriage paid to. Carriage paid to. Okay. This carriage paid to is same as CFR, cost and freight. CPT and CFR, same. Only CPT is related to road or air also. See here. For airway, you will say road, but what about airways? What about railway? Anything other than ship. These Incoterms are used. FCA, CPT, CIP, DAP. Anything other than ship. Okay. Sometimes even in air, even in this road, everywhere, there also these Incoterms are used. There also means in air shipment also you might find something FOB. So whenever we say FOB in air, it means we are talking of FCA. Okay. So CFR got it. Next one is CIP, cost insurance paid. Now what is this? Logically, tell me. This will be equal to what? Type in the comment section. Type in the comment section. This will be equal to what? Everyone. This will be equal to, yes, CIP will be equal to CIF. CIF, cost, insurance and freight. Because here also cost and this carriage and insurance paid. Okay. So got this point now? Now this is an Incoterm for road. Okay. So now you got these four FAS, FOB, CFR, CIF, FCA, CPT, CIP. Done. X works already done. So how many are closed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now 2, 3 are remaining. DAP and DDP. Okay. These are remaining. Remember, they are hardly of any use in your numericals. In numericals, you won't get it anything related to DAP or DDP. Only this is for theory. In DAP means what? What do you mean by this Incoterm DAP? DAP means delivery at place. Delivery at place means what? Wherever this buyer will say, there the seller will have to send the goods. If buyer says, I have a godown there in Chennai, my office is in Mumbai, you send the goods to Chennai godown. So what does it mean? Delivery at place. Send it to Chennai godown, even though the office is in Mumbai. Okay. So in DAP, remember, delivery at place. Here it is decided who will pay the customs duty at the export side, who will pay the customs duty at the import side. Both the things are decided. Okay. So and DDP, delivery duty paid. This is the best Incoterm for the buyer. Why? Because in DDP, now look at this. This DAP and DDP, they are applicable to both ship as well as road and rail or air or anything. Okay. Now DDP is applicable. DDP means what? Delivery duty paid. It is the best Incoterm for the buyer. Why? Because here every responsibility is on the seller. Paying the customs duty at the export side, paying the customs duty at the import side over here. Then bringing the goods up to whatever place this buyer wants. So that is known as DDP. So these are the 10 Incoterms which are used basically in any export or import trade. Okay. See, this is the example I have given. Suppose if I am having CIF of 1000, insurance is 30, freight is 60. Then my this FOB will be what? 1000 minus 90, 910. Okay. CFR, cost and freight, it is 1000. Insurance is 30, freight is 60. Then FOB will be what? Now understand this. Here what have I done? I have subtracted only 1000 minus 60. I have not done the subtraction of 30 because it is CFR Incoterm. Cost and freight. Only have to subtract freight over here. So 940. Got it? Always remember, while solving any numerical, you have to do this, but you have to do in addition this profit percentage also. Now this is a typical numerical which I have solved. Just for your reference, I'll give you. CIF is given as 1200. Insurance and freight, now combined it is given as 10%. Profit is given as 15%. So suppose if I tell you to arrive at a FOB or pre-shipment finance. Suppose if you have to give the pre-shipment finance in this part, overall this scenario. Okay. So what will you do? CIF is 1200, insurance and freight is 10%, profit is 15%. What will you do? First, what you do? You first find out the 10%. What is the 10%? 1200, right? 1200 minus this 10%. So it is what? 120. Okay. Then again, profit is 15%. Find the profit of 15% from this 1200 itself. So 1200 into 15%, 180. So now subtract this. 1200 minus 180 minus 120. So you get it as 900. So this is FOB value. But from this FOB value, what have you to do? You have to give the finance of 75% only. So from this 900, you will be paying 75% only. So this is the basic logic of pre-shipment finance. That's why I took this numerical over here. Okay. Now before going ahead, everyone download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app, you will be getting the premium study material plus live classes, ebooks, tests, whatever we require for clearing a JIB and CIB. We'll be getting it over here. Okay. So download this immediately. Got it? Okay. Now these are the Incoterms. I have written it over here, theory part. So you can definitely read this. Departure, X works already explained. Main carriage paid, CFR, CIF, CPT, CIP. All these are showed. Main carriage paid income. Now these two are related to ship. CPT and CIP are related to this road and air and everything. Okay. Main carriage paid, unpaid. Unpaid means the carriage is not paid. FCA, FAS, FOB. FCA is related to this railways or road. FAS and FOB are generally related to ship. Okay. Arrival, DAP and DDP, delivery at place, and this DDP delivery duty paid. So here arrival means at the importer side. Okay. This is, I have given the responsibility for each of the seller, means it's same thing which I discussed, just it's given in details over here. Details means where the responsibility is for your reading basically. Incoterm, Xworks, FCA, FAS, FOB, all these. Export packaging, who is doing what? Okay. So where is the responsibility? These are the responsibilities. Okay. You can read this, expand this, enhance this video and read this. Okay. Next one. Now before going ahead, everyone join Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. In this channel you will be getting the latest updates. Now how to join this? Latest updates from IIBF regarding JIB and CIB, and importantly you will get this, the free YT series, YouTube series. Now how to join these channels? Scan these QR codes. This is for your this Telegram channel. This is for your YouTube, and the next one is for your Instagram. Scan them and join it immediately. We are giving many free YouTube videos over there, ebooks over there, tests over there on these channels. Join all the three. Okay. Now let's come to the questions. Minimum obligation of the seller is represented in which time of the Incoterm? Now this is easy for you. Answer is FOB, Xworks, DDP and DPU. Now which one? The correct answer is Xworks. Correct? Xworks. Okay. FAS and FOB are rules of which kind of transport? Which kind? Any kind of transport, internal, inland waterways and seaport, railways only, and air only. What is this? Now type in the comment section. Let me call this ABCD. A, B, C and D. Now type the answer. Is it A or B or C or D? FAS and FOB are which type, or for which type of this transport? It is B. Correct? It is B. Isn't it? Next one. There's a Thai company which imports from USA, which is importing from USA for the first time. When this company imports from USA, which Incoterm consignee should propose to the shipper for their benefit? Their means whose benefit? Their benefit. Consignee. Who is the consignee? Consignor and consignee. Consignee means it's always the buyer. Okay. For their means what? Buyer's benefit. Let's talk about this buyer's benefit over here. Buyer. Let me be specific over here. Buyer. For buyer's benefit. So which Incoterm should this buyer propose to the shipper? Shipper means seller, exporter. So should he or she propose this Xworks or FOB or CFR or FCA? Now, what do you say about this? Now you are having the problem. All of you might be thinking, sir, the best one is DDP for the buyer. But there is no DDP given over here. So the right answer is DDP, but no DDP given. But what is the answer then? See here, we have to choose the best among these. Xworks means what? It is the best for the seller. FOB means what? Loading on the ship. CFR means what? Cost and freight. And FCA means what? Free carrier. Okay. So FOB and FCA are same. So these are same over here. So which is the best among these? Xworks, FOB and CFR. Which is the best for the buyer. Which is the best for the buyer over here? Among these three. Among these three, it is CFR. Remember, DDP is the best for the buyer in ideal conditions. It might not be ideal conditions every time. Okay. So, which is the best for you, that you should agree. Suppose if it is said that benefit for the seller. Suppose if this is for the seller's benefit, then which one is the best? Then it's X works. For the seller, it's always X works, right? Which is this Incoterm? Say this Incoterm. Here, the seller is, this is the seller. So, seller is putting the goods up to the ship. Okay, up to the ship. Loading the goods on the ship. And then the ship is going out. So, which is this Incoterm? FOB, X works, CIP, CPT. Type in the comment section. Which is this Incoterm? Which is this? Fast. This is FOB. Okay, free on board. Correct? What is the difference between CFR and CIF? CFR, see this, cost and freight. CIF means cost, insurance and freight. So CFR, no duty. CIF, shipper pays duty. Is this related to duty? Not at all. Nothing related to duty. CFR, shipper pays cost, means freight. Here consignee pays freight. Now shipper pays freight, and here CIF, consignee pays freight. Shipper means this shipping company. Okay, or in fact the seller. Okay, seller. So shipper pays the cost, freight, and here consignee pays the freight. Nothing like this. Both of them CFR, cost and freight. The seller pays the freight over here, right? In both CIF also and CFR also. CFR no insurance, and CIF shipper pays the insurance, means seller. Now this is right. CFR no insurance, and CIF seller pays the insurance, shipper, okay, exporter. CFR shipper takes the risk, CIF consignee takes, it's not that. Consignee means buyer takes the risk, no one. Here, shipper takes the risk, CFR shipper does not take the risk over here, seller. And in consignee, this also. Consignee means insurance is brought in by the seller, but the risk is not taken. The seller will only pay for the insurance if something happens. Okay. But the right answer over here is this. CFR no insurance, CIF shipper pays the insurance. Okay. Clear? So now I would urge everyone to join the Sankalpa batch, selection batch. Okay. In this batch, we are covering all the numericals, objective questions, case studies, all the compulsory subjects are covered. And very important here, important is case studies. All the case studies are covered in this batch. You can join the Mahapack as well. In Mahapack, you are getting multiple batches. Plus, you are getting ebooks, tests, video lectures, recorded lectures. You are getting electives also. Any doubt, call on this number, flashing. Okay, how to join this? Okay, let me show you. Go to Adda 24/7. How to go there? See here, I would always suggest you to go through the app, because in the app you are getting 1% extra. How to go there? See this. Go to Adda 24/7 over here. If you are going through the website, go to Adda 24/7. Click on JIB and CIB. Click on CIB November 23. Okay. So here you will see the Sankalpa batch. Sankalpa batch. Okay. Click on this English. Got it? This one. You'll see the details. Look at this. Online live classes, test series, ebooks. Now click on ebooks. You'll see subject-wise ebooks. Look at this. Subject-wise. Now click on this subject-wise ebooks. You'll see chapter-wise ebooks. Means in such details are you getting? You're getting up to up to the level of the chapter. So what all do you want? That is for basically ebooks. Now look at the test series also. Same. Subject wise, click on the subject. You get module wise and chapter wise also. So that's what is needed, isn't it? When you get the material in such details, the test, the ebooks, the classes, then you can definitely clear it. Okay. So that's why I would suggest to join this fast, and importantly, 80% off is going on. Such a huge discount we never get. Okay. How to join this? Okay. Click on buy now. Fill in the details. See this. Click on continue. Code is already applied. See, Fill in the details. 23,999 reduces to 4,799. Huge discount. Okay. You can join the Mahapack also. In Mahapack, you are getting multiple batches. Let me show you. See this. Go to Mahapack. See this. Right now, on the Mahapack, there's a double validity offer going on. Plus 80%. See this. 80% off plus double validity. Means you buy for 6 months, you get for 12 months. You buy for 12 months, you get for 24 months. Okay. So both these packages are having the double validity offer. You should buy any one of them. Okay. Now in this, I'll tell you, as I told you, you're getting test series, ebooks, videos, online live classes, interactive classes, recorded sessions. Okay, you can go through the highlights here. All of them are given over here. Okay, so that's why join it fast. I'll be back tomorrow with another series. Till then, keep studying and do join the batches ASAP because exams are near. And in this series, we are covering all the important numericals, objective questions, case studies, one-liners. Okay, so follow this series completely from start. Okay, it's available on YouTube on the Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. So subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's start. See here, today we'll be solving some numericals as well as some one-liners. So let's start with this first one. Let's see. See here, the USD INR rate is 48.10 and pound to USD rate is 1, only 1. What is the rate of pound to INR? Now first tell me, what is this chain rule? Which rule will be used over here? The rule which we'll be using is, see here, whenever we want some rate which is not given, is pound to INR rate given? What is pound? Pound means we call it GBP. GBP. I don't call it GBP. Great Britain pound. Is there anything great about Great Britain now? We are bigger economy than that Britain now, UK, right? India is a bigger economy than UK. Then what's great about it? I'll just call it pound. Okay? Yeah. So USD to INR rate is 48.10 and pound to USD rate is 1. What is the rate for this pound to INR rate? Now the question over here is, we'll be using the which rule? Type in the comment section. It is called as chain rule. Chain, correct? What is the chain rule? Chain rule is pound, it's written as like this, pound to INR we want it, rupee, right? So pound, you had this in JIB, no? How many of you remember? You had this in JIB. Type yes in the comment section if you remember this. Yeah, it is. Pound to dollar will bring in a common currency over here. Pound to dollar. See here, we want pound to rupee. So pound to dollar into dollar to rupee, right? In the comment section, everyone. Type the answer now. See this, pound to dollar. Do we have pound to dollar? See this, pound to USD given 1. So it is 1 into dollar to rupees. What is the dollar to rupees rate given? 48.10. 48.10. So what is the answer? Same, 48.10. See this, D. Isn't it? D is the answer. Right? So this is called as chain rule. Always remember while solving any forex, the important part which is remains in CAIIB is after you get this rate, you have to either add or subtract the margin. Add or subtract depending on the transaction. Add or subtract the margin. Which exchange margin? Remember, this is up in JIB you had the problem up to this much only. In CAIIB you have the exchange margin also. So this exchange margin, you have to either add or subtract it. Now, how will you decide whether to add or subtract? You will decide it based on the basis of, suppose if you are selling, suppose if you are doing sale means what? When will you sell? You will sell it in import transaction. Suppose if you are doing the import transaction or sale, right, then you will be adding the exchange margin, add. Okay. It's not asked in this problem, but in exam they'll definitely ask you. They'll ask you some margin like TT margin is, let's say they'll ask you 0.15%. Now find the rate. TT margin is 0.15%. So what will you do? This rate which you get, now you'll first find out the TT margin 48.10 into 0.15%. This is what you'll have to find it out. Okay. So multiply this. Okay. Let me solve this problem only now. Right. Because in CAIIB you get higher level problems. These problems you get it. So 48.10, what is the answer you are getting? Into 0.15%. Percent means divided by 100. So it will be 0.0015. So what is the answer you are getting, guys? What is the margin which is what is the margin you are getting in rupees? So 48.10 into 0.0015. See this 0015. Okay. So this answer, type in the comment section. What are you getting it over here? In the comment section, it is 0.072. Now what will you do with this margin? This is your margin in figure. This was in percentage. Now it is in numericals. Okay, number. So what will you do in this problem? So what is it given? USD INR rate is given, pound. What is the rate you will be taking? So it's not given whether it's a buy or sell. So let's assume it's a import transaction. Import. Okay, import. Right. So you'll sell it over here. In exam they'll be giving clearly import or export. So import means sell. So you'll have to add this. So what will be your final rate? It will be 48 point. Add this 48.10 plus 48.072. Add this, everyone. Answer which you will be getting is 48.1. Then what? 172. This is the final answer you will be getting if exchange margin is given. If not given, then 48.10. That's simple. Okay. Clear, everyone? Type yes in the comment section if you have understood it. Type yes in the comment section if you have understood it. Okay. Chalo, next one. USD INR rate is 48.10 and JPY USD JPY rate is this much. It is point over here, 91.50. What is the rate of INR to JPY? Now again, see here. What are you doing? You are again using the chain rule. Calculate the rate for 100 JPY. See this, 100 JPY means always JPY is calculated in terms of hundreds only. We never get the rate for 1 JPY and then keep it as it is because it's very small. But for getting this 100 JPY, we need to get first 1 JPY rate. So again use the chain rule. We want INR to JPY. Look at this, INR to JPY. Here JPY is below, right? So INR to JPY. So what is my INR to JPY? Rupee to JPY, right? JPY. Yen is written as like this. Yen and 2 lines. Okay. Rupee to JPY equals to. So you'll get it what? Rupee to. I think so. It should be JPY to INR. Okay. Because we never get this. India never follows this indirect rate system. Let me make the change because you should get it JPY to INR. You'll never get it JPY INR to JPY. Okay. Because we never follow the indirect rate system. We follow the direct rate system. What is direct rate system? In direct rate system, rupee is always moving and other currency is constant. So India follows that system. Okay. So JPY to INR it will be, I'll write it simple. So JPY to INR equals to JPY to rupee, JPY to dollar into INR to, dollar to INR, right? Dollar to INR. So now what all do you have? JPY to dollar do you have? See here, you have USD to JPY, 91.50. So dollar to JPY you are having. Now you want JPY to dollar. So you'll just reverse this. So it is 1 upon 91.50. See this, it's reversed, right? Because it's dollar to JPY and we want JPY to dollar into dollar to INR. It is 48.10. Now take the answer. Now the answer will be, everyone do it. 48.10 upon 91.50. What is it? What is the answer you're getting? 48.1 upon 91.5, right? 91.5. Oh, did I write 8? 91.5. Okay. So it is 0.5256. 0. I'll write it below. Okay. So 0.5256, right? So this is 1 JPY to INR. 1 JPY to INR. But what is asked over here? They've asked 100. So 100, multiply this by 100. So 100 JPY to INR equals to, multiply this by 100, 52.56. 52.56. 6. So this much is the answer. So 100 JPY equals to 52.56 rupees. Remember, what does this mean? You must understand this first. 100 JPY equals to 52.56 rupees. Okay. So what does it mean? Rupee is stronger than JPY. If I ask you, okay, let me ask you this question. 100 JPY equals to 52 INR, let's say. Forget this 0.56. Now tell me who is stronger? JPY is stronger or rupee is stronger? 100 JPY equals to 52 rupees. So who is stronger? Rupee is stronger, correct. Rupee is stronger. In the comment section, rupee is stronger, correct. But remember now, it doesn't mean if any currency is stronger, like rupee is stronger over here, but does it mean India is more developed than Japan? No. We are the 5th largest economy. Japan is almost the 3rd largest economy now. Third or fourth. Germany and Japan, they both are in this fight. We are planning to surpass them in the next 3 years. Both of them. So that's why remember, even though Japan is having the lower currency, then also Japan is a bigger economy than India. Okay. So the answer is what? 52.56. Which is the nearest one? 56. See this one, D. D is the nearest answer. Okay. 52.56. Oh, 53. Sorry. 52.40. Take this. Okay. In exam, they won't give you such closest answers. Okay. 52.40, 52.80. They'll never give you the answers like this. One will be 52.40, second will be 55 something. Okay. There'll be a huge difference. So you'll be able to immediately identify because these points hardly make any difference. Okay. So got the answer, everyone? Clear the concept? Shall I move on? Type yes in the comment section if you have understood it, and we shall move on. Okay. Next one. When the exchange rate is fixed by the monetary authority of a country, it is called as by the monetary authority. Remember, monetary authority means RBI. RBI fixes it. Nothing doing. Dollar to rupee rate is today 79, so 79 only. There is no fluctuation, no demand, no supply, nothing. So, when the exchange rate is fixed by this monetary authority, it is called as what? Direct, indirect, floating or fixed? It is fixed rate, correct? It's fixed rate. In where do we have this fixed rate? Do we follow in India this fixed rate system? What do we follow in India? Do we follow fixed rate system, everyone? What do you say? We never follow fixed rate system. We follow floating rate system. Floating means, see, two things you always remember. In India, we always follow, one is direct rate system and second is floating rate system. Direct means rupee is fluctuating, dollar is constant. Okay. And floating means it depends on the demand and supply. Then in which country is this fixed then? Which country says it's fixed? Fixed rate. Fixed rate is hardly in any country now, but then also North Korea, you have this fixed rate system. And there are some minor countries, okay? Even China, I'll tell you, China is also, it's a quasi-fixed. I mean, they are following fake system. I'll tell you, fake. Why? Because they say they are following floating rate system. Floating rate means what? It depends on demand and supply. Demand and supply, okay? But what happens? The Chinese government interferes heavily in this yuan. Their currency is yuan. Y-U-A-N, yuan. They have two currencies. One is yuan, second is renminbi. We don't hear about this renminbi many times. We hear about yuan. Both are equivalent only. 1 yuan equals to 1 renminbi. That's what I'm saying. They are playing the gimmicks over there. We are not going into that geopolitical issue now. But government or the central authority interferes in this and reduces the rate whenever they want, increases the rate whenever they want. They have done this in last 5-6 years. They have done it one night automatically, means one day suddenly the Chinese bank decided that reduce the yuan rate by 7%. Who, why, when, don't know. This is known as fixed rate, means quasi-fixed rate. Okay. Some other countries, like I gave you North Korea, There are some other minor one countries are there. Bernoulli, no, what is that called as? Some biggest country, oil producer. That is having the fixed rate. Forget it. Important is the government interferes over here. Okay. Everyone subscribe to Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. In this channel, you will be getting the latest updates from IIBF, for JIB and CIB. Whatever IIBF gives, this change, that change, portion change, timing change, venue change, you'll get it over here. Okay. Second thing, you'll get the free YouTube series. Right now, what are you watching? You're watching the same free YouTube series. So you'll be getting all the free YouTube series on all the subjects. So subscribe to it, click on the bell icon, click on the like button, share it with your friends. Okay. Okay. When the exchange rate is fixed by the market demand and supply position, it is called as, just now we discussed, right? Market demand and supply. So it will be called as what? Freely. It is called as indirect. No, sorry. Floating, isn't it? Floating rate. India follows this demand and supply. RBI never interferes in India in this rate. Okay. It never interferes directly. There are two ways of interfering. One is direct here. As a CIB student, you must understand this. Interference, okay, can be done in two ways. One is direct and second is indirect. Okay. Direct means what? Direct means RBI says from today the dollar to INR rate is dollar to rupee rate. Okay, is XYZ. Let's say 85. That's it. Nothing doing, nobody can change it. This is known as fixed. What is indirect? Indirect means what? Here, it depends on demand and supply, but RBI interferes it indirectly. Means what? If the dollar rate is going too high, then RBI will, mean there is a less supply of dollars. So RBI will sell the dollar. So that is allowed. Indirect interference is allowed in all the countries. Even USA we do it, UK it is done, India it is done. Any country, indirect interference is allowed, because that is the job of RBI, right? If your dollar rate goes very high or very low, it immediately affects your inflation position. So that's why indirect interference is clearly allowed. Direct interference is not allowed. Okay. The term bid rate stands for, bid means what? We have this bid offer, right? Bid means what? Your bid, and second is offer. So what is this? Direct, indirect, buying, selling. Always remember, bid is equal to, let me get it from you. Bid is equal to, what is it? Comment section. Let me see in the comment section. Bid stands for, bid means I am bidding. Give me. Aja, yeah. So that is buying rate. Okay, bid equals to buy. And offer means sale, right? Sale. Okay. The selling rate of a foreign currency offered by a bank is called as here. Selling rate of a foreign currency offered by a bank. Offer rate, bid rate, floating rate, fixed rate. Name itself. Naam hi kafi hai. Offered. And it is offer rate, right? Sale. You can call it sell rate. Okay. Sell this side. Always on the left side it is buy, and right side it is left side it is buy, right side it is sell. Okay. Everyone download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app you will be getting the premium study material plus live classes, ebooks, tests. You'll be getting it. Okay. So download it right now and start studying. Country risk is an example of market risk, credit risk, operational risk, and liquidity risk. Country risk, remember. Country risk is an example of market, credit, operational, liquidity. Okay, let me give it to you. Credit. Credit risk is always of two types. Remember this. Okay. One is country and second is counterparty. Counterparty risk. Okay. So country risk means country is in the problem, and counterparty means country is good but your party is bad. Okay. Now what does it mean? Country is in the problem means, I'll give you example. Afghanistan. Country is in the problem. Pakistan. Country is in a problem, right? Sri Lanka, country is in the problem. Counterparty, USA, country is good, but your party is bad, not paying you. Okay, so this is the country risk is the part of credit risk. Got it? Credit risk. All of the following types of risk of price risk are price risk except. So all of the following are price risk except commodity price, exchange rate, stock price, counterparty. Just now we saw it, counterparty, isn't it? All these are price, commodity price, price going up and down, exchange rate, price going up or down, stock price, price going up or down, counterparty. Just now we saw it. See this, credit risk. So counterparty is a part of credit risk, right? So this is except, we want except, okay? So that's why this is the answer, except. In the financial market, bond prices and yields are, so prices and yields, bond prices and yields will always be what? Inversely related, directly in, this you add it in your JIB also. Inversely, directly, inversely or directly depending on the type of the bond. So it is, now this you should get it from your, it's a basic knowledge now, okay? So let me see how many of you can answer this. Everyone, yeah? Do it fast. Yeah, it is. Inversely, obviously, isn't it? Inversely. Prices and yields are inversely related always. How to join this here? I've just now told you join this Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel, right? How to join this? Scan this QR code, okay? This blue is for Telegram, this black is for YouTube, and this another one is for Instagram. Join it immediately. Why? Because on all these channels, we are giving the free YouTube sessions. Then question banks, you are getting free question banks, questions, free tests. Again, latest updates, various things, various puzzles, various quizzes, you get it for CAIIB and JIB. So scan it right now. Just pause this video, scan it and do it. Okay? Chalo, next one. Rate of cancellation of original export contracts. Here, original export. So export contract is always for what? Just now we told in the first problem, whenever we have export, we have export. Export we have export. Export will always be buy, right? Buy or bid. Forget it. Keep it simple. Buy. Okay. So if export is at buy, then I have to cancel it. So cancelling will be opposite. What is the opposite of buy? It will be sell. So cancellation will be sell. So firstly, I'll use this sell. So forget this buying. So these two are out. Oh, sorry, not these two. Which are out? This is out and this is out. So these two are remaining. TT selling and bill selling. Now which one? TT selling or bill selling? What do you say? Which one is the right answer then? Over here. Cancelling. You are cancelling the rate. Cancelling is always done at TT. Always remember. Booking is done at a bill rate. Okay. So that is the answer. Booking, rate of booking a new import contract for next 1 month. After 1 month. Okay. So it is. Now import. Import means what? Buy or sell. Just now we saw export. Export was buy. So this will be sell. So buy is out. Now TT selling or bill selling. Next 1 month. See here, TT is always used for spot transactions. Right now. I have to cancel the transaction right now. Okay. But next month means 1 month risk you are taking. So whenever you take the risk, it is called as TT selling or bill selling. Bill selling, correct? So that is the answer. Okay. Clear everyone? Got a concept? And theory questions as well. So follow this series completely. It is available in the playlist in the Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. Subscribe to this channel. So let's move on immediately. Okay. Today I'll be covering different yield curves, types of yield curves. Okay. And then the questions on that. Very important part from your exam perspective. Yield curve. There are 4 types of yield curves. Always remember. Yield curves. One is this normal yield curve. Normal means what? Let me explain you this. Suppose if you keep a FD, let's think of FD only. FD. You keep a FD of 3 months. 3 months. Okay. And then I keep an FD, let's say me. I keep an FD for, let's say, 8 years. Okay. 8 years. FD is what is maximum FD available? Up to 10 years. Okay. In banking. So you keep the FD for 3 months and I keep the FD for 8 years. So if you are getting the FD rate of interest of, let's say, 3.5%. Okay, you are getting an FD rate of 3.5%. What do you think I should get this rate of interest? Should it be more than 3.5, I'll write it more than 3.5 or equal to 3.5 or less than 3.5. Less than 3.5. Okay. So what should I get? What do you think? More than, equal to, or less than. I'm keeping it for 8 years, and here I'm keeping for 3. You are keeping for 3 months. So I'll be getting it for more than 3.5. Correct. I'll be getting more. Why? Because I'm keeping the money for the higher period. Okay, larger period. Right. So this depends on what? Keynes theory. Remember, Keynes theory is there. It says that the more you part with your money, the more are the returns expected. Now look at this curve. This is the maturity period and this is the yield. So this is 3 months over here and this is 10 years over here or 8 years over here. So that's why if you look at it, the rate of interest over here is higher. The rate of interest over here is lower. Now apply the same logic to bonds. Bonds with the lower maturity will have lower interest. Bonds with the higher maturity will have higher interest. This is a normal yield curve. Now this is possible when here we assume something. What do we assume? We assume that the country will grow upwards. Getting this point? If my country is growing upwards, only then this is possible. If my country is going into recession, then it will be exactly reverse. The FD rate, the bond rate for 3 months will be higher and bond rate for 10 years will be lower. This is known as inverted yield curve. Inverted yield curve is a sign of recession and normal yield curve is a sign of good growth. India is presently over here. Many of the Western countries, including USA and UK, they are in this phase right now. They are going towards this. Okay? They are artificially keeping the economy running over here. Artificially right now. We won't go into those details because it's a huge topic. Remember, just if anybody wants to check, just check the yield curves for USA and UK in last year from June 22 to December 22, and then you'll understand everything. Right now they are in this phase, going in this phase, recession phase. That's why their yield curves are slightly inverted. They have kept it going right now. They have kept it around this flat or to the other extent to this upper level, but they can hardly sustain for some time. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, that's it. Okay, now what is this flat yield curve? Flat yield curve means country is not growing at all, not going down, not going up. Flat. 3 months rate of interest will be same as that of the 10 years rate of interest. Humped yield curve. This is called as humped. Humped means what? There is a slight growth in the initial period, but later again recession. So this is known as transition. Okay, transition means what? It grows in the initial years and then it transits to the lower growth phase. So recession phase. Here it is recession, here it is growth. So these are the 4 yield curves. In exam, mostly they will be asking you 1, 2, 3. Because this is transition, recession. Generally, this recession is asked more. Because why? This is only the typical one which is followed throughout the world. Okay. Now let's move on to the questions. When the upward sloping yield curve will appear, means when an upward sloping yield curve will appear, means upward means just now we saw this one. When will this appear? During the times of expansion, when the recession occurs, during economic transition, when long-term interest rates are lower than the short-term interest rates. Long-term are lower than short-term. So when will this occur? In the comment section. I want it in the comment section. A, B, C or D. It is during the times of expansion. A. Okay. Now tell me in B, C and D. Okay, B, C and D. There are 2 options. Now look at this question. There are 2 options which are same. In B, C and D, there are 2 options which are same. Now, which are those options which are same? B is what? Recession occurs. B means recession. C means economic transition. So this will be what? Humped curve, camel humped, right? This is this camel humped curve. It will be like this. Okay. This just now you saw this. What is D? Long-term interest rates are lower than the short-term interest rates. Means what? See this. Long-term is lower, short-term is higher. So it will be like this. Now if this is like this, then what is recession? Recession is also the same. That's why B equals to D over here. Okay. It just I got it. The thought got into my mind. That's why I asked you. Okay. So upward sloping yield curve in the expansion, and recession means long-term interest rates are lower than the short-term interest rates. Everyone download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app, you will be getting the premium study material plus live classes, ebooks, tests. Whatever we require for clearing JIB and CIB, we get it over here. Okay. Define the flat yield curve. Flat means, just now we saw that short-term bond rates are equal to long-term interest rates. Okay, so basically short-term rates equal to long-term. I think that is the answer, or no? Let's see. Short-term interest rates are greater than the long-term. Short-term greater than long-term. So can you plot these curves? Okay, let me plot these curves. See this. Short-term equals to long-term. So this is flat over here. B1. Let's plot this B. Okay. Short term are greater than, so short term greater, long terms lesser. So it will be like this. Recession. Long term interest rates are greater than short term interest rates. So this C will be long term greater than short term. So it will be like this. Normal. Small companies provide greater yields than large company stocks. This has no base at all. There is nothing called a small company providing higher rate, yields or higher returns. What is the yield? Yield means asking rate. Asking. Always remember. Demand. Rate in demand is yield curve. So it's nothing like this. Okay. So the answer is A. Okay. How do you define economic transition? Transition means that camel humped curve. Okay. Transition in an economy from recession to expansion. Okay. Transition in the economy from expansion to recession. None of the above two answers are correct and both are correct. So what is this? Recession to expansion. See here, A. Let's plot this curve of A. Recession to expansion. Recession means it will be first like this. Recession means inverted curve, right? To expansion. So it will be like this. So what is this? Again, it is a hump. Look at this. It is hump somewhere. Okay. So this is also true. From expansion to transition B1. Let's plot this B. So expansion to recession. So this is also true. So both are transition curves only. So both the answers are correct. Okay. Now how to join this Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel? Well, for joining this channel, scan the QR codes. This blue is for Telegram. Black is for your YouTube. Click on scan this. Okay. Then this one is for the Instagram. And how to join the Instagram, this YouTube using these codes. And there is a separate channel on WhatsApp. So you can join this WhatsApp channel also. Just type Officers Adda 24/7 on WhatsApp. You'll get it. Okay. On WhatsApp channels now. There is a separate option of channels. Okay. A yield curve that shows down-sloped curve is what type of curve? Down-sloped. Now this is easy. Normal yield curve, flat yield curve, inverted. All yield curves show down-sloped curve. Is this all yield curves show down-sloped curve? What do you think? The answer is normal, flat, inverted, down-slope, down. It will be inverted. Okay, inverted yield curve will show down-sloped curve. A yield curve that shows upward direction and which long maturity bonds have higher yields is known as. So if any yield curve is showing upward direction and long-term bonds are having higher yield, just now we saw it, isn't it? What is the answer? A, B, C or D? Type it in the comment section. Correct? Normal. Okay. Which of the following statements is false? A forward exchange rate is a good predictor of the future spot market. What is this? Forward exchange rate is a good predictor of the future spot market. Future. So forward rate is can predict the future spot exchange rate. Predict. Okay. A forward exchange rate and a future spot market may not be the same. So forward exchange rate and future spot market may not be the same. Okay. A forward exchange rate is an unbiased predictor of the future exchange rate. So forward exchange rate is an unbiased predictor of the future exchange rate. Okay. The spot exchange rate is a good predictor of the future exchange rate. The spot is a good predictor of the future. So we want what is false. What do you think is a false answer? Firstly, you should know what is true answer. Remember, nothing is over here in this question. It's just forward and future. Forward exchange rate is booked today for 2 months later. Okay. And future spot rate is the actual rate 2 months later. So that is basically the future spot rates. Here, just I'll explain you in simple terms. Today is what? Let's say any date. Okay. Let's consider 1st January. Okay. Jan 1, let's say. Today Jan 1. Okay. Now I book a rate today for dollar. And I book it for, let's say, March 1. I book the rate for March 1. Okay. So now understand what is forward exchange rate and what is future spot exchange. When I say forward exchange rate, I book this rate today for March. So this is known as forward because I have booked it today. Okay. Forward exchange. So this is forward exchange. Now what is future spot exchange? It means that actual rate on March. Actual here. If I book this rate today for March, let's say at 80 rupees 75 paise. Okay, if I booked it at 80.75. But actually on this date, it goes to, let's say, 83 rupees. So this is known as my actual future spot exchange, and this rate which I book it today for the future is known as forward exchange. Now remaining things you can definitely get it. Okay. Future spot, same thing. Forward exchange, same thing. So which is the false one? Where is the answer? I didn't get the answer. Let's call this A, B, C, D. A, B, C and D. What is the answer? We want false answer. It is D. D is false answer. Spot cannot predict future. Only forward exchange rate can predict future. Okay. The objectives of central bank include. What is the central bank? Central bank means not Central Bank of India. It is RBI. We are having a separate bank called as CBI, Central Bank of India. Okay. So the objectives of RBI include to ensure country's balance of payments remains in equilibrium, to accumulate the country's foreign exchange reserves, to ensure the implementation of country's exchange rate policies, to control international trade. What should be the answer? RBI's main role is what? Ensure country's balance of payment is in equilibrium. Accumulate foreign exchange reserves. Accumulate means go on accumulating the dollars. To ensure implementation of country's exchange rate policy. Okay, implementation of country's exchange rate policy, and to control international trade. See here, nobody can control international trade. That's out. Accumulate is out. Now the question is only between A and C. Ensure country's balance of payments is in equilibrium, or ensure that implementation of country's exchange rate policy. See, this implementation depends on individual banks. Whatever policy is there, that is done by individual banks. Okay, that is not done by RBI. RBI gives the policies. So the answer is A. To ensure that country's balance of payment remains in equilibrium. Subscribe to Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. Just now I told you how to subscribe to it. You can subscribe it on the YouTube also. You can scan the QR codes, okay, and do it. Because you will be getting various free YouTube series. All these. Right now you are watching the free YouTube series. You get it over here, okay. The exporter should necessarily submit the export documents to the bank within 15 days from the date of documents, 15 days from the date of shipment, 21 days from the date of documents, 21 days from the date of shipment. Now what is the answer? Let me see how many of you can answer this. Yeah. 15 days from the date of documents, 15 days from the date of shipment. Okay, from the date of, what do you mean by shipment date? Shipment. What is the shipment date? Shipment date means whenever you get that bill of lading On that there is a stamp called as shipped on board. Shipped on board. On board. Okay. This shipped on board stamp, whenever whatever date it has, that is known as the date of shipment. So this exporter has to submit the documents to the bank. It's not, actual word is not bank. It is called as AD, authorized dealer. Okay. So the exporter has to submit the documents to the AD within 21 days from the date of shipment. Remember, 21, and these days are calendar days. Remember, 21 calendar days. There are 2 days in banking. One is calendar, second is banking days. Banking, whenever banks are open. Okay. The multinational company encounters the following exposures to foreign risk. So any MNC will encounter which type of risk? Translation, economic, transaction, and all of the above. What is each risk? What is translation risk? Translation risk means what? Suppose if I am, let's say, SBI. Okay. Is SBI a multinational company? Type yes in the comment section. Is SBI a multinational company? It is. Fine, because multinational means which has the branches or offices in more than one country. So SBI has various branches in outside also. Okay. So let's say SBI is having a USA branch, and this USA branch is having some profit. Let's say $1 lakh. It has a profit. Okay. $1 lakh. Now this $1 lakh has to be brought to India, not physically. Whenever on 31st March, SBI has to report its balance sheet to RBI. So while reporting it, it will also report the balances or the profits of its subsidiaries which are in foreign. But those will be reported in rupees because RBI follows rupee system. So this dollar will be converted to rupees notionally. That is known as translation exposure. Whenever I convert this notionally, whatever notional profit I have or loss I have is known as the translation exposure. Economic exposure means basically economics related to financial. Transaction exposure means related to transaction, settlement. Mainly this will be settlement exposure. Okay. So any MNC will see what type of exposures, all of these, isn't it? The role of hedging agent is, means what is hedging actually? What do you mean by hedging? Anyone? Type in the comment section, what is hedging? Hedging means, hedge. Buy in one market and sell in another. Suppose let's say there is a Reliance share, Reliance, okay, and in NSE, let's say it's running at 2500, and in BSE, it is running at 2503. Now this change happens only for 3 to 4 seconds, 4 seconds only, not more than that. So within these 4 seconds, the whole game is played. So I'll buy 1 lakh shares over here and sell 1 lakh shares over here. Sell. Here I buy. What does this mean? I'll do it in 4 seconds. Buy here, sell here. So I want 3 lakhs over here in 4 seconds. But what is the risk? If I delay in this, I'm gone, because this will automatically catch up with each other. So what is the role of hedging? Forget this agent. What is the role of hedging? Assist the firm in determining which foreign exchange transactions should be hedged. So here, depends on which currency or which commodity you are hedging. There should be enough liquidity in that. Liquidity. If there is no liquidity, then there is no logic of hedging. Hedging is always done in liquid stocks, liquid commodities. So which is to be hedged? So that should be decided. That should be supported by the team. Whichever agent's team is there, it should support that. A. Assist the firm in determining the types of currencies or interest rate swaps. So how should I hedge it? Here, what is to be hedged? First question is what? What is to be hedged? And second is how. So any hedging agent's job is answering these two questions, what and how. Okay. So answer is what? Over here. Sankalpa series for BFM. In this we are covering MCQs plus numericals plus case studies plus theory questions. Okay, so follow this series completely. Today we'll be covering module C questions. Module C and D. C in fact, mainly C. Here we'll be covering the liquidity part. Liquidity risk is an important risk in your BFM. Okay, so we'll be covering this treasury management, module C and liquidity part. Okay, so let's start. We'll be covering the objective questions only today. No numericals, no theory, anything. Only objective questions. Which of the following exchange operations have been useful in treasury management operations? So, which of the following foreign exchange operations have been useful, okay, for treasury, useful in treasury management? So, treasury management is arbitrage and swaps. Now, you can definitely answer this here. Looking at this at the CAIIB level, you can definitely answer me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Answer will be what? Let me see what is the comment section. In the comment, what are the answers? I know all of the answers will be what? C, right? All of the answers are C. I know. But the problem is, do we understand arbitrage and swaps? We have just heard the names. Do we understand this? How many of you understand this arbitrage? How many of you understand this swaps? Type yes in the comment section. And if you don't, kindly type no. Not an issue. I'll explain you both. Okay. Arbitrage also and swap also in simple language. Okay. What is arbitrage? Arbitrage is basically buying in one market. I'll write it simple. See this. Buy in one market and sell in another. Immediately. Sell in another. Immediately. Very important term is immediately. Okay. Immediately. This is an important term. Immediately. Because everyone does the same thing. Buy somewhere and sell somewhere. That's business. But immediately is an important part. Means I'll explain you one simple example. Suppose if I'm having, let's say in India, how many stock markets are there? How many markets are there in India? There are two markets, right? NSE and second is BSE, right? BSE. Okay. Many a times what happens, there is a difference in prices. For example, let me show you Infosys. Let's say Infosys. Okay. Infosys. If Infosys price on NSE is, let's say I'm taking example, let's say it is 1000, and on BSE at the same time it is, let's say 1003. Now this difference on NSE and BSE remains for hardly, I'll tell you, 4 seconds. 4 seconds, hardly, not even 4 seconds nowadays. With the technology, it is hardly 3 seconds max to max nowadays. It immediately gets converted or collapsed. Okay, it matches with each other. Now, if I am the arbitrage person, what will I do? Do you know? I'll buy, let's say 1 lakh shares, 1 lakh shares, okay, of Infosys here at the same time, right now, and I'll sell 1 lakh shares at BSE right now. Here I'll sell, and there I'll buy. What happens? At the same, in hardly 4 seconds, I'll do all these jobs. My computers, my internet needs to be very fast in this. Okay. So what have I done? I've earned 3 lakh rupees. 3 lakh. See this, 1003. 3 into 1 lakh. This much I've earned in how many? 4 seconds. That is arbitrage. Buying in one market and selling in another market immediately. That's why arbitrage is the most important and the safest transaction. Safest. But it is safest subject to the timelines. If you are able to follow the timelines, then it's safe. If you are not able to follow the timelines, you are gone. Okay. So that is arbitrage. Now what is swapping then? Swapping, remember, only you remember one basic about swapping. Swapping means always there are two legs in swaps. Always there are two legs. Okay. One is fixed and other is floating. Okay. Floating. What do you mean by this? Keep it very simple. Suppose I'll give you this example over here. Okay. So suppose if I take 1 lakh rupees from you, 1 lakh. Okay. And guarantee you 7% rate of interest. 7%. Here I am taking it from you. So I have to give you 7%. I have to give 7%. And what do I do with this 1 lakh rupees? I invest this 1 lakh rupees in the stock market. Stock. Now in this stock market, this 1 lakh rupees I may get at the year end. See here, 7% is for the year. So at the year end, I may get 25% returns also, because after all it's stock market, it can give you heavy returns. Or I may get 0% returns also. Or I may get minus 25% returns also, negative also. Stocks might go down also. So this is what? This is floating and this is fixed. So swap always has two legs. One is fixed, another is floating. Now this swap can be of various types. It can be currency swap, it can be interest rate swap, it can be any swap, commodity swap, anything. But logic remains the same, fixed and floating. Okay. And one more important term about swap is it's an exchange of series of payments. Series means, example, I'll give you RD. What is RD? Recurring deposit. It is a series of payment. I'll give you 1000 per month, and at the end of the year, you as a bank will give me whatever 12,000 plus that interest. Right? So it is a exchange of series of payment. Everyone got this? Swap and arbitrage. Very important terms. These are the derivative instruments. There are almost 7 derivative instruments, 7 to 8. That's why I'm saying join the classes, paid classes, because everything is I won't be able to cover it over here. Okay. There are many others, FRA, forward, future. Okay. So we'll cover it in the classes. Okay. So now the answer is A and B both. You got it, everyone? Type yes in the comment section if you have understood it. Everyone. Type yes if you have understood it. Okay, move on. Chalo, next one. Risk in the trading securities may arise from the following activities. So risk in trading securities. Securities means what? It can be anything. It can be shares, it can be bonds, it can be anything. Forex, then equity holding, lending and repos, and all of these. So securities may arise, risk in this trading may arise because of what? It can be due to Forex also. It can be due to equity also. It can be due to repos also. The repo rate also keeps on changing. Right? So the answer is, what is the answer? Correct answer over here? Comment section. Answer is A, B, C or D? D. Correct? Risk in trading securities may arise from the following activities: exchange, equity, repos, all of these. Which of the following is not an agency service of the bank? Agency service. Okay, now this is a simple question. Extending credit, escrow, merchant banking service, and insurance selling. It should not be an agency service. You want not. Okay. Agency means what? In this product, the bank will get a commission without any risk. Look at this. Agency, the main point about agent is agent. Any agent. We see that LIC agents, we see this mutual fund agents. What is the rule? They have twofold rules. One is commission. They get the commission. Commission. Okay. And second is no risk. They don't have any risk. Agent's role is only agent. Agent just plays as a middleman between that company and you. So if tomorrow something happens, the agent will directly point out to that company. Go there and solve the issues. So no risk. So that's why when your bank acts as an agent, it also gets 2 points over here. Commission and no risk. So in which of them it is not the agency commission, means which is agency service, or which is the core banking service? Core banking service is this, extending credit. It is not the agency service. Escrow is an agency service. Escrow means what? It's a temporary account. Temporary account. It is opened generally when there is a project to be done between two companies. Okay, so that is an escrow account. Merchant banking services. So this is also agency service. Your bank gets a commission. Where do we get merchant banking services? We generally give this in IPO. It doesn't come to you at a retail level. It goes at a corporate level. Insurance selling. This comes to you. You also do the same thing, right? So not an agency service is extending credit. Everyone download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app, you'll be getting the premium study material plus live classes, ebooks, tests, whatever we require for clearing JIB and CAIIB, you'll be getting it over here. Okay, so that's why download it right now. Okay. What is the off-balance sheet risk? Look at this, off-balance sheet risk. it is contingent in nature. It can occur on account of issue of guarantees, committed credit lines, and issue of LCs. Bank's commitment may happen on account of failure to meet the payment obligations, and all of these. So now let me get the answer from you first. What is off balance sheet risk? Is this A or B or C or D? All of them. Yeah. Answer is, everyone, the answer is D, all of these. Okay, all of the above. Remember, off balance sheet means what? Which is not shown in the balance sheet. What is not shown in the balance sheet? Contingent liabilities are not shown in the balance sheet. Contingent. Okay. Now, what do contingent liabilities include? Contingent liabilities include bank guarantee, BG, LC, court cases. Court cases are also contingent liabilities. Okay, court cases. So these are the three main contingent liabilities. So off balance sheet risk means contingent in nature, can occur on issue of guarantees, and bank's commitment may happen on account of failure to meet the payment obligations by that party. Means, what do you mean by this third part? Third part means, suppose if my bank is giving the guarantee and if that other party does not perform, then my bank will have to pay, isn't it? So that's known as bank's commitment may happen. May happen means crystallization. This is called as crystallization. When the risk which you have just given in words, when it comes for payment, that is known as crystallization. So answer is A, D. Okay. Which of the following statements is correct? Always check the question. What do they want? Correct or not correct? Okay. The funding risk may arise from the need to replace the net outflows due to unanticipated withdrawals of deposit. Unanticipated. Funding risk means what? Funding risk means I may not have the regular funds which are required for my regular payments. Why? Because unanticipated withdrawals. All the customers of the branch come for withdrawal of money. All of them. So that is unanticipated withdrawal. This happens when, what is this term called as? When all the customers come to withdraw the money in the bank. All the customers. That is known as, one concept is there. That is known as what? Anyone? It is what? It is called as run on the bank. This is the important term, run. I'll write it over here. Run on the bank. Run, or they call it bank run. That's simple. Bank run. Okay. So this funding risk may arise due to this. Let's see. The time risk arises when the performing assets turn into NPAs. So my performing assets become NPA. So time risk means what? On the required time, I may not get the payment. On the required time, I may not get the payment. So that is time risk. Call risk arises due to crystallization of contingent liabilities. Just now we saw it. First, earlier question. If I give you a guarantee, let's say this is a bank. Okay, bank is, it is having one customer, contractor. Okay. Now this contractor wants some road, state government. It wants some road contract from state government. So state government will ask for guarantee. Okay, so bank gives the guarantee. Now this contractor does not build the road. Okay, does not perform. Then the state government will ask the bank for payment. So bank will have to pay. This is known as crystallization. So this is, which of them is correct? Call risk arises due to crystallization of contingent liability. That is also true. So the answer is what? Call risk, time risk, and funding risk. What is the answer? Isn't it? It's all of these. All of these, right? That is the correct answer. Everyone subscribe to Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. In this channel, you will be getting the latest updates on JIB and CIB from IIB. Number one, there are two things which you will be getting. But first is this updates. Now, what are the updates? Updates can be like, for example, change in venue on the last moment, change in the date of the exam on the last moment, some change in the portion, last moment, type of questions change, last moment. IIB gives regular updates, okay, at the time of exam. So for that, you should follow this Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. You get it over here. So first one, updates, you get updates. And second is free YT series, YouTube series. Okay, second is YT, free YT. Right now, what are you watching? Free YT series. Right now you are watching the same free YT series, YouTube, right? So similar YouTube series, you get it on all the subjects. Okay, so that's why subscribe to this channel, click on the bell icon. How to do this? See this. We have 3 to 4 channels. I would suggest you join all the channels. One is on Telegram. Scan this blue code. Scan it right now. One is this black code, that is for YouTube. Okay. Then third is Instagram. Scan this Instagram code also. And there is one more, that is WhatsApp channel. Nowadays WhatsApp channels have started. Do you know? How many of you know that WhatsApp channels have started? Type in the comment section yes. How many of you know that WhatsApp channels have started? In the comment section, type yes, everyone. How many of you know this? WhatsApp channels have started. Do you know it? So, yes, WhatsApp channels have also started, and we are already there on WhatsApp. Okay. So just type Adda 24/7 on WhatsApp and you'll get it. Okay. Next one. The features of interest rate risk are. Features of interest rate risk. Interest rate risk are. It is an exposure on the bank's financial condition to adverse movements in the interest rates. So exposure on the bank's financial condition to adverse movement. So exposure for adverse movement. If the things are going against me, then it's an interest rate risk. Obviously, if the rate of interest is going against me, then it will be a risk. If it is going in favor of mine, then no risk, isn't it? It has no effect on the net interest margin. No effect. Okay, it has no effect on NIM, net interest margin. What is NIM? What is the formula for NIM? Everyone type in the comment section. Do you know what is NIM? Formula for NIM? In the comment section. Yeah, it is NII. NII divided by NII divided by assets, performing assets you can call it, or just call it assets also, it's okay. Performing assets, that's the right word. NII upon performing assets. Now what is NII then? NII means this interest, I'll just write it short. Loan interest which I get. See here, loan interest I receive minus this deposit interest. Deposit interest. So that difference is known as my NII. Okay, that is my income, isn't it? This is my income of the bank. How does the bank earn? Bank gives loan and gets interest, and takes deposit and gives interest. The difference is the income. So that is NII. This NII, when I divide it by the performing assets, I get NIM. So no effect on the NIM. It may not affect the market value of the equity. It may not affect the market value of the equity and all of these. What is the answer? All of these? Because all the answers earlier were all of these, and that's why this also all of these. Don't follow this concept in your CAIIB. CAIIB is not all of these, none of these. It's not compulsory that these answers will be there. The correct answer over here is A. It is an exposure to bank's financial condition to adverse movement in the interest rate. It has an effect on NIM. It may affect the market value of the equity. Okay, that is the point, correct one. Which of the following is not a mismatch risk? Mismatch means what? Mismatch. Let's see. Okay, and we want not. Okay, this is your important question. Not a mismatch risk. Holding assets and liabilities with different maturity dates and amount. So assets and liabilities with different maturities means I am having deposit of 1 year and loan of 3 years against that deposit. Okay, deposit of 1 year for 1 lakh, let's say 1 lakh, and I am having a loan for 3 years for the same 1 lakh. So it will be a mismatch. So I want not a mismatch. Is this a mismatch? Okay, just type in the comment section yes or no. Is this a mismatch? Holding assets and liabilities with different maturity dates. Is it a mismatch? Yes. So it is true. I want false here, not. I want false. So this is true. Now what about the second one? Adverse movement in the interest rate. So adverse movement. Okay. So adverse movement in the interest rate means due to the loans and the deposits. If the interest rate moves in the adverse movement, then definitely it's a risk for me. Third one, let's see. B, keep it on hold because it can be the answer. when the liability is repriced on the maturity date and this causes variation in the interest rate. Now, is this the point? Means liability this is repriced on the maturity date. So repriced on the maturity date means what? When I am having the maturity, this liability means what? For the bank, what is the liability? Liability is the deposit, right? So this deposit is repriced. If the deposit goes against my favor, if the deposit interest rate has increased, so that there will be a mismatch between the interest rate of the loans as well as on the deposit. So my NIM will affect. NII will be affected, and in further to this, NIM will be affected, net interest margin, right? So this is definitely a mismatch risk. So this is also true. True. This is also true. But I want false. So now we have to check the closest false. All of the above is not possible because these are not the mismatch. These are the mismatch risks. So A and B are the mismatch risks. So all of the above is one. So which is the nearest one? Adverse movement in the interest rates. So this is not the mismatch risk. Now, what is the logic behind this? You'll say, sir, it can be the mismatch risk. Yeah, I have told you it can be. But I'll tell you how to explain this. See this. If loan, look at this, everyone pay attention. Loan. Okay, and second is deposit. Okay. Now, if my loan rate is, let's say 9%, and my deposit rate is, let's say 7%. Then what is my NII, net interest income? NII. My NII is 2%. 9 minus 7, 2%. Now imagine both of them go down. Both of them decrease. So both of them become what? 8%. And this becomes 6%. Same proportion. Then also my NII is 2. Okay. So that's why it is said over here, adverse movement of the interest rates is not a mismatch risk because it is happening in both of them. Now, if it happens in one of them, means this decreases but this does not, or this decreases, this does not. In that case, that is called as a basis risk. Basis. Okay. In basis risk, then you'll be having the mismatch part. But here is anything mentioned about the basis risk? No, it is mentioned adverse movement in the interest rates. So it is for both. So that's why this is a false answer, and it is not a mismatch risk. Okay. What is the yield curve risk? When two different instruments maturing at different time horizon for pricing assets and liabilities. So different instruments maturing at different time horizons. So that is the yield curve risk. Yesterday I had given the details about this yield curve. Follow yesterday's video. There may not be parallel movement in the interest rate of both the instruments. That is also true. Means 10 years bond. Here example. 10 years bond will change in different proportion. Whereas to 1 year bond will change in different proportion, interest rates. Okay. Non-parallel movement in the yield curve may affect the NII. So that's also true. Non-parallel movement means this is changing differently, this is changing differently. So net interest income will be affected. So the answer is all of the above. So that was the session for year 7. We are in the BFM Sankalpa series and we are covering various important theory, numericals, objective questions in the same. Today we will be covering the objective questions. Before going ahead, have you seen yesterday's series? Means Saturday and Friday I had completed one series that was numericals. Very important numericals were done. Have you seen that? Type yes if you have not. Kindly follow it again. Go to the channel, follow it again. Important forex numericals were covered. Very important ones. So if you have not covered it, if you have not seen it, kindly go and see it because it's very important. You'll get case studies. 2 case studies you'll get on 5 marks, and both the case studies I had covered it over there. Okay. So let's start with the numericals today. Okay, all done. Everyone set now. So let's start. Chalo. First question. The liquidity risk of the bank arises from. So liquidity risk of the bank, of any bank. Liquidity means what? What do you mean by liquidity risk? It means that I don't have money at right time. That is very important. At right time, whenever I have to pay my EMI, I don't have money. That is a liquidity risk. Same thing about the banks also. Bank has to pay some bond holder. Okay, at that time bank doesn't have the money. That is the liquidity risk. If some depositor comes for withdrawal, bank doesn't have money. That is a liquidity risk. So this liquidity risk of the bank arises from number one, funding of long-term assets by short-term liabilities. Long-term assets by short-term liabilities. What do you mean by this word? Suppose let's consider all these cases. Okay, let's consider all these cases. Let's say this is deposits. Here liabilities means deposits, assets means loans. Okay, now case number A, funding of long-term assets by short-term liabilities means what? I'm having a deposit of 1 year and I'm giving a loan of 3 years. Will this create a liquidity risk for me? Just type yes or no over here. Let's see later. B1. Funding of short-term assets by long-term liabilities. So deposit of 3 years and loan of 1 year. Will it create a problem for me? Funding of long-term liabilities by short-term assets. C. Funding of long-term liabilities. This is ab initio wrong. This is from start only wrong. Why? Liabilities funded by assets. Is it possible? Not at all possible. Assets are always funded by long-term liabilities. Means long-term or short-term. Assets are funded by the liabilities. So C is ab initio right, wrong. Okay, ab initio means from the start itself. We need not even discuss this. That is the point. Now the question lies between A and B. Between A, 1 year deposit I am having and 3 years loan I have given. So will it create a problem for me? Yes, it will create. Why? Because this guy who has deposited, this person will come to me after 1 year, but this person will pay to me after 3 years. So this will be a problem to me. What about B? If this person has given me a deposit of 3 years, this guy will come after 3 years. Isn't it? This guy will come after 3 years, but this guy will pay me immediately after 1 year. So I won't have any liquidity problem over here because whenever this person comes, I can repay him back, him or her. Okay. So the answer is A. Funding of long-term assets by short-term liabilities. This is a basic logic based on which this question is dependent. And such questions are asked to in exam. Remember. Okay. Move on. Funding liquidity risk is defined as funding liquidity. Remember this. Funding means I don't have funds. Liquidity risk, but related to funds. So that is defined as excess of liabilities over assets. Excess of long-term liabilities over long-term assets. Excess of short-term liabilities over short-term assets. Inability to obtain funds to meet the cash flow obligations. Very simple definition. Excess of long-term liabilities over long-term assets. Is this a liquidity risk? Excess of liabilities means more of deposits, less of loans. Obviously, that can be the answer. Similarly, B can also be the answer. Look at this. All the answers seem to be right. All of them. You check this. All of them seem to be right. Liability is greater than assets here. I'll show you over here. Liabilities greater than asset. In all the cases, logic is same. Okay. Liabilities are greater than assets here. Over here, excess liabilities over assets. Here, long term over long term. But after all, the same. Liabilities and assets. Short term over short term. Logic is same. Liabilities over assets. So logic is liabilities are more than assets. So definitely that is the answer. Whenever I have deposits of let's say 100 rupees, okay, and loans of let's say 70 rupees, okay. So will it be a problem for me? As a bank, do I have a problem in this case? Okay, just check your bank's ratios, your bank's loans and asset deposit ratios. Is it always 100? Let's say this is 100, this is also 100. Is it always 100? No. RBI has given the term as your liabilities and assets should always be 70%. So this is right. Okay, assets will always be lesser than your liabilities. Always. Means basically loans will always be lesser than your deposits. Of course, the ratio is matched so that the rate of interest NII is not affected much. So the correct answer is this. Inability to obtain funds to meet the cash flow obligation. That is the correct answer. Okay. So funding liquidity risk is defined as inability to obtain funds to meet the cash flow obligations. Okay. Liquidity risk in banks manifests in different dimensions. Which are these? What do you mean by this? Manifest means comes. It comes in various ways. Okay. It comes in various ways. Dimensions means ways. Let's keep words simple, isn't it? So liquidity risk in bank comes in different ways. What are these? Funding risk arises from the need to replace net outflow withdrawal and non-renewal of deposits. It can be. Just answer. Think over it and answer. Fine. Here, CAIIB is not like JIB. Just you got the answer, tick it. No. Here you have to think. Funding risk arises from the need to replace net outflows. Non-renewal of deposits means whatever is going out, that needs to be replaced. Suppose if tomorrow there is a huge withdrawal from your bank, run on the bank, we call it run on the bank, right? Anyone knows run on the bank? What is run on the bank? Type in the comment section. Okay, just type, do you know run on the bank concept? Type yes or no, only that much type it. Yes or no, yes or no, only that much. Don't give me run on the bank definition, it's a big definition. Yeah. Yes, 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 no, no, no. Yeah, some no's I am seeing. See here, run on the bank means when all the customers of your bank, remember whatever I am saying, when all the customers of the bank come for withdrawal of deposits, all of them. So that is known as run on the bank. There's some negative news in the newspaper, something wrong about your bank. So everyone comes for withdrawal. That is run on the bank. So coming back to the question, withdrawal, outflows, withdrawal. So we need to replace these withdrawals through fresh funds. So liquidity risk may arise from this also. Number two, time risk arises from the need to compensate for non-receipt of funds, NPAs. Means basically, suppose if I've given a loan, so what is my logic? The logic says that that person will pay me the EMI, and or CC if given that person will pay me the interest, and that interest I'll use it for paying to the depositors. But if I don't get that interest, don't get that EMI, then what? So that will also create a time risk. Time risk means what? At the time I'm not having the funds. Call risk arises due to crystallization of contingent liabilities. So call risk arises from crystallization of contingent liabilities. Contingent means what? Contingent means which was not to come, or future transactions, future, like bank guarantee, LC. Okay, these are all contingent. So it comes in which of these cases? Both A and B. Okay, I'll mark it like this: A, B, and C. That is the best answer. So the answer is actually this: A, B, and C. Because funding risk is to replace the net outflows, that is also correct. Time risk is for compensating the non-receipt of fund, that is also correct. And call risk is also a type of risk, this liquidity risk only. Because if tomorrow there is a huge bank guarantee to be paid by you, then from where will you get the funds? Urgent funds. Okay. So both, both, actually it's A, B, and C. Okay. Everyone subscribe to Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. In this channel, you will be getting latest updates from IIBF on JIB and CIB. Means what is updates from IIBF? IIBF gives various notifications. Like now it's exam time. So it will give certain notifications that this exam time changed, that exam time changed, this subject's portion is this, something has been added over here, something like this they'll give. So these notifications are explained on this channel immediately. Officers Adda 24/7. Also you get free YouTube series. Here right now what I'm watching, you're watching the same free YouTube series. So you get a free YouTube series on the channel for all the subjects of JIB and CIB, all. Okay. So that's why subscribe to it, click on the bell icon, click on the like button, share it with your friends. Okay. When an asset maturing in where an asset is maturing in 2 years, the liability risk will be, suppose if any asset means loan is maturing in 2 years. Okay, 2 years means what? I have given a loan and that guy or girl will be paying me after 2 years. Okay, so what is the liability risk? Now look at this liability risk. With what risk will I face from the depositor's angle? Basis risk, yield curve risk, gap risk, embedded option risk. From the depositor side, I'll face this risk, depositors, embedded option, right? See here, if this asset is maturing in 2 years, means there is a loan. Let's look at it this way, loan, okay? If this loan is maturing in 2 years, this deposit, I may face a deposit. Here, I have to fund this loan by this 2 years. So what I have to fund is, I have to see to it that I have sufficient deposits for this loan. But if these deposits get matured, FD gets matured, there's a withdrawal, then will I get the same FD of the same amount afterwards, if after the withdrawal? Will I get the FD of the same amount at the same rate? That is known as embedded option risk. Embedded means what? Anytime it can withdraw. Suppose if I need this 1 lakh rupees over here and this 1 lakh is withdrawn from here, depositor's angle, then my balance sheet is in a problem. So embedded option risk means there is a chance of withdrawal of FDs, withdrawal of savings deposits, plus there is a chance of repayment of these loans also. Now this is from the loan side. Somebody repays these loans. So embedded option risk is for both the sides, loan also and deposit also. Here we are talking of liability, deposit side. So that's why it's the main embedded option risk. The risk of adverse variance of mark-to-market of change in the market price of the interest rate instruments, equities, is called. So mark-to-market, what is mark-to-market? Mark-to-market means that basically the logic behind mark-to-market is, suppose if I brought, let's say, a bond, and that bond I am not going to sell immediately. But mark to market means what? Whether if what is notionally I am gaining some profit or not in that. That's the meaning of mark to market. Suppose if let's say you have brought a flat, you have purchased a flat, okay, for staying flat you have purchased. Now this flat you won't be selling it now because you are staying in that. But you get the daily rates for this. There are certain brokers who come to you, sir, the flat right now you had brought it at let's say 30 lakhs. Now the flat is giving you around 50 lakhs. So this is what this difference is known as notional or mark to market. Notional or other name is mark to market, M to M. Okay, M to M means what is the rate at which I had brought and what is the present value of my security. Okay. So risk of adverse variance of mark to market value of change in market price in the interest rate instruments. Interest rate instruments is called as price risk, market risk, translation risk, both A and B. What is the answer? Let me get it from you now. I'll explain you, not an issue. But let me get it from you first. It is both A and B. Price risk and market risk, both. Because here market price risk is actually a part of market risk, and price risk arises because of the interest rates. If the interest rates go up, interest goes up, interest rate goes up, then the price of the bond will go down. Price will always go down. Price. Okay. So this is basically the logic behind this. Which of the following is not a market risk? Not. Okay, not a market risk. Compliance, transaction, legal. All of the above. Let me think. Type fast in the comment section. Which of the following is not a market risk? Not. Market risk means what? What is a market risk? Market risk means that risk which is not in your hands. Not in your hands. Okay, keep it very simple language. Okay, not in your hands. Russia-Ukraine war, not in your hands. Then the COVID situation, not in your hands, right? RBI changing the repo rates, not in your hands. So this is all market risk. So which of the following is not a market risk? So compliance risk. Compliance means what? Submitting the returns or submitting the consent documents to RBI. It's in your hands. You have to follow the compliance. So it is not in your hand, right? Not a market risk. So it is, I'll write it not a market risk. N. transaction risk. Transaction means whatever transaction I'm doing, I must maintain precautions in that. So there's no market risk. External forces are not acting on this. Legal, again, it's a part of this transaction risk only, right? Means basically operations risk. These are all operations related risks. So this is not a market risk. Answer is all of the above. Okay. Everyone download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app, you'll be getting the premium study material plus live classes, ebooks, tests. Whatever we require for clearing JIB and CIB, we get it over here. So that's why download it right now, immediately, and start studying. Don't just download it and keep it. You have many apps in your mobile. Okay, just tell me, everyone, how many total number of apps you have in your mobile? How many? We don't even know the numbers. Even I don't know. How many of these apps have you watched? Do you watch regularly? I know you watch only WhatsApp regularly. Only WhatsApp. Tick, 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 tick. And some other one or two more. Nothing else. Okay? Somebody might be watching that shopping apps, Amazon and all those things. That's okay. But remaining apps, we just download it and keep it. Don't just download it. Use it. Go through it. What are you getting? You're getting many free features over here. Of course, paid classes are there, but free features also, free tests you are getting, free books you are getting, free classes you are getting. So download it and start studying. Okay. Country risk is an example of market, credit, operations, and liquidity risk. So country risk is an example of what? It is a part of credit risk. See here, credit risk always is of two types. Always remember this, two types. Okay. One is country and second is counterparty. I'll just write it. Okay, full only I'll write it. Counterparty. Because many of the students might not understand this. Short form of this is actually CP. Okay. But counterparty risk. So country risk and counterparty risk. Credit risk always has two parts. Okay. All of the following are types of price risk except, now again we want except means not, which is not the type of price risk. So all of the following are the types of price risk except commodity price, exchange rate, stock price, counterparty risk. Just now I gave you. What is the answer? Just now, yeah. Type fast. Just now I gave you, yeah. This one, look at this. Credit risk has two parts, credit and counterparty, country and counterparty. So counterparty will be a part of what? Will it be a part of price risk? No, it is a part of credit risk. So this is credit risk. This is not the one. This is yes, this is yes, this is yes. All these are price risks. But this is a part of credit risk. Okay. In financial market, bond prices and yields are JIB studies. Okay. Bond prices and yields are inversely related, directly related, inversely or directly depending on the type of the bond, and none of these. JIB. Okay. Give me the answer. Yes, it is. What? What is the answer? Bond prices and yields. Inversely, right? If the yields go up, what is yield? Yield means asking rate. If the asking rate of any bond goes up, the price of that bond will go down. Everyone, just now I told you that join our Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. But how to join it? Sure, we are having three important channels. One is on Telegram, second is on YouTube, and third one is on Instagram also. Scan this QR code for this blue one for this Telegram, this black one for this YouTube, and this one for this Instagram. Immediately pause the video, scan this. Now, why should you join here? We gave whatever is available. What is available on these channels? Free tests, free ebooks, free classes. Okay. Then paid classes are also available on the app. So scan it and join. Whatever is free, grab it fast. Okay. That was the session for CAIIB. Now, before going, I would suggest everyone to join this Sankalpa batch for the June series. All the numericals, objective questions, case studies, everything is covered. All the compulsory subjects are covered. Now, if you want the electives also, kindly join this Mahapack. In Mahapack, you are getting multiple batches, plus ebooks, plus test, plus you are getting the electives also. I'll show you on the live on Adda 24/7. Everyone, I'll always suggest you to go through the app, because of the app we have the coin systems. This coin system will give you around 1% extra. Let's go to Adda 24/7. I'll show you live there. See this. Go to Adda 24/7 and see how to join the batches. Go to JIB and CAIIB over here. Done. Click on CAIIB June 24. CAIIB June 24. Okay. June 24. Now look at this Sankalpa batch. Comprehensive Sankalp batch. Okay. All the 4 subjects are covered. Check this. All the 4 subjects are covered. Numericals, objective questions, case studies covered. Ebooks are available. Test series are available. Online live classes are available. Expert faculties, interactive classes, recorded videos, limited size batch. So much are the benefits. Now, look at this. Suppose if you join this ebooks, if you click on this ebooks, you will see subject wise ebooks. Click on this each subject. You will get chapter wise ebooks. Similarly, the test. Click on this test series. You will get subject wise test series. Click on any of this subject. Look at this. You will get module wise, chapter wise. So in such details you are having the test series. So that's why I would urge everyone to join this batch immediately. Now if you want the elective also, in elective, look at this. Go for the elective. You can go for this Mahapack. Go to Adda 24/7 again, see this. CAIIB Mahapack. Click on this. Now you are having double validity plus 80% off. Double validity means what? If you buy for 6 months, you get it for 12 months. If you buy for 12 months, you get for 24 months. So this is the double validity. Plus 80% off. Again, you get ebooks, videos, test series, online live classes, expert faculties, interactive classes, recorded videos. Now, what is the use of recorded videos? Nowadays in banking, what has happened? It is a huge pressure for each one of us, right? So this pressure, because of this pressure, we won't be able to attend all the classes on time. So in that case, through the recorded sessions, you can get the classes back. Okay, and look at the product highlights. All the details are given. You can call this number. It is flashing on your screen also. Okay, you can go through the product highlights over here. Okay, so look at in Mahapack, what all topics are covered. So the product description, you can read this. What all is it included over here? Why CAIIB Mahapack is best for you. Okay, you can go through the details. Go through each and every aspect. Okay, I'll always suggest you to join this Mahapack as it's the best option. And right now you're getting it at the lowest price.